Hello and welcome to Pro Trader Strategies Market Commentary for Wednesday, July the 26th. My name is Eric Wilkinson. Some of you may recognize me as the Wolfman from CNBC, Fox Business, or even the Wall Street Journal for my commentary on everything from economic to geopolitical and market analysis. Please keep in mind that everything that we talk about in these market commentaries is not a solicitation to buy or sell any of these securities or strategies. At the end of the day, we're here to teach you the different strategies that you can implement into your portfolios, but please do that in your own way. The reason why I can't give you a recommendation on a particular stock or strategy is because I don't know your risk parameters. I don't know what's in your portfolios, and therefore what I'm doing could be counterintuitive to what you are already doing. And please remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Having all that out of the way, let's get it on. Not really a whole lot of economic data across the pond other than in Great Britain we got preliminary GDP coming in line with expectations at 0.3%, and they revised last month's number down to 0.2%. So not a whole lot to see there. Here in the United States, we got new home sales came in at 610,000 units, expected to be 615,000 units, and last month's number came in originally at 610,000 units. They revised that back down to 605,000 units. Also, we got crude oil inventories coming in at a drawdown of 7.2 million barrels, expected to be a drawdown of 3.3 million barrels. That, along with Saudi Arabia talking about crimping some of the exports to the United States, has really gotten crude oil moving higher. It's up about 78 cents right now, but kind of looking like it wants to top out. It's gotten above that trend area or the channel. If we get back down below that, I'm going to be looking to short it, despite the fact that we're seeing that bit of a drawdown there, just because there's such a glut out there, and I don't think there's a ton of demand going on for crude oil right now. So it might be a shorting opportunity. Then we later on today at 2 o'clock Eastern, we have the FOMC statement. So that expected to be pretty much a non-event for the most part, just maybe something coming from the statement, but Fed funds rate expected to remain unchanged at 1.25%. All right, on to gold futures. Crude oil we talked about. Gold futures right there at the point of control. A lot of things are going to kind of settle down around the point of control heading into this meeting, I believe, and crude oil being the one that may not, but at least gold being right in line there, and bonds have come back down to the point of control. So that's where I thought that they should be remaining, maybe even slightly to the downside. This is looking like it's in a bear trend with the 200-day over or underneath the 50-day. That is debatable in that sense, but to me, I think that they're going to keep the interest rate increases on the docket. Dow Jones Industrial Average, new historical high. It seems like a broken record, but the real thing to note here is it's back above, or it's gotten above, I should say, the value area high. So we could see this start to lose a little bit of participation as we get too far ahead of ourselves to the upside. Then with the NASDAQ hasn't created a new historical high, but it is up 10 points on the day and very close. As you can see here, 10 points away right now, but this morning it was much closer to that off of some of the economic data that we received, and then people started getting the new home sales and kind of started falling off. Then E-mini S&Ps making a new historical high, but that happened right at the area of coming into the day session opening, but right now up 2 points on the day. We can find that out a little bit more detail on the 30-minute chart here of the E-mini S&Ps. And as you can see, this high happened right going into the opening of the day session. So, and we've done nothing but really kind of slide off. Very inside day, despite the fact that we have had that spike to the upside and created a new high. Really inside of yesterday's trading range. All right, so on to a few things that I've done. XRT is a trade that I put on this morning, and I went into the August and sold the 42 calls. It's got high implied volatility, collected 25 cents for it. Don't really see it getting up into that 42 area. Looks like it's topping out a little bit and retail, XRT being the retail ETF, has been beaten up quite a bit. I don't really see that subsiding anytime soon, especially if we're near historical highs and NASDAQ pushing for that. I think it's going to be another rotation into the tech sector. All right, on to what I've done to myself, I guess I could say, with General Dynamics. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw me tweet this out yesterday, and they don't have weeklies, which is a kind of a bummer because I didn't get that real theta decay and volatility collapse that we're seeing here. Usually on those really close to expiration, we get that collapse, but because they don't have the weeklies in General Dynamic, I went out to the monthly with 20 some odd days to go, and directionality wrong. This was well outside the market maker move by 4 points or so. I think it was like a 5-point market maker move, and I thought I was going to be free and clear, but not the case. In August, sold the 195 puts for 95 cents. Haven't gotten out of that. Not looking too good. It's trading really close to right around $2 right now, maybe slightly more now that we've come off a little bit more. Thought I had a chance to get out for about $1 loss earlier today, little less than $1 loss. It's kind of only exacerbated. I rushed into getting out of my AMGN, so AMGN was pretty close as well. Thought General Dynamics, they just barely missed by about 2 pennies. I thought it was a little bit overdone and was going to get a bounce back. One thing with this General Dynamics is I am going to cover this today. I'm not going to try and manage this. I'm not going to roll it out in time because I've already got a lot of time for me, but I'm just not going to hold on to it. I'm going to pull the ripcord on this sometime today just to free up some margin for a plethora of earnings coming out today after the close and tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be looking at like 9 different ones, actually 12 different ones that I'll talk about here in a second. AMGN, despite the fact that I got the directionality wrong, the nice thing about that, it was in the weeklies. So with AMGN, I was easily able to get out of it, and I had on the July sold the 172.5 puts, and I originally sold those for 45 cents, bought them back for 30. So not a huge winner there, but the fact of the matter is the theta decay, the volatility crush came out of those rather quickly, and the 2.5 calls, I got out like right off the open, but I didn't wait until it came down to these lows here. It was trading above 175 when I got out. So AMGN really fell out of bed, and I got out quickly. But the nice thing is I got to get into those weeklies, which really helped out quite a lot. So a couple of other ones that I'm going to be looking at today after I get out of my General Dynamics debacle. I'm going to be looking at Facebook, Gilead Science, which is GILD ticker symbol. I might even be looking at PayPal. I haven't actually traded PayPal in over a year, but I'm going to be looking at that for the earnings. We also have Whole Foods. Don't think I'm going to trade that one, but just wanted to mention it. It could get a bit of a shakeup with Amazon coming to buy them out if they miss on earnings quite a bit. That deal could be put on the shelf for a while, so we'll have to see about that. Also, if you are wrestling fans, WWE is coming out with them. Not going to trade that, but thought it was a funny one and would mention it. We got Verizon, ticker symbol VZ, Twitter, ticker symbol TWTR. We've got Southwest Airlines, Love, and Potash coming out, which is a fertilizer company, Procter & Gamble, MGM, and MasterCard. So probably going to be playing the MasterCard for sure. Facebook, possibly PayPal, maybe Gilead, and possibly Verizon and Love. So our Verizon and Love, ticker symbol LUV, is for Southwest Airlines. So that's what I've got on the docket for today. So check me out on Twitter so you can see which ones I'm going to be participating in for the earnings trades. and I'm going to be getting out of this General Dynamics as soon as possible. So all in all, not too bad. Definitely up on the earnings season, despite the fact that I took a hit on General Dynamics, but I have to look at it like stay mechanical, stay with it. The probabilities beat me on General Dynamics, but that just means that I don't have to have that hanging over my head for the rest of the earnings season. So should have the probabilities in my favor for the most part. All right, that's all I got for you guys today, other than if you can't take that, take it easy.